Hello, everybody. This person, I put their music video on my list, I don't know, about 12 days ago or something. And I wanted to react to them for Women's History Month. But then I just didn't get around to it. I've been hearing a lot of things about it. That it's really good. It's like one of them girl power, women empowerment type of songs. And I saw that this guy I follow, Justin Hawkins, Rides Again, his YouTube channel. He's from the band The Darkness, which I saw in concert. And Justin Hawkins was crowd surfing right above me, like very close to me, playing guitar while crowd surfing. I have a bit of a crush on him. He's really funny and cute and crazy. But yeah, he did a reaction to it. He did a reaction to it. So I watched like the beginning part of his reaction and then I tapped out and I want to go back and watch it. But I know there's like, she's dressed kind of old-fashioned-y, like, I don't know, Renaissance-y, or she kind of looks like Belle from Beauty and the Beast or something, and there's like candles and I don't know what's going on exactly, but did I even say what I'm watching? Paris Paloma. I like the name, Paris Paloma. And the song is called Labor. Labor like giving birth, childbirth, or labor like working hard, like just having to do a ton of work. You know, back in the old days, the women had to do everything around the house, take care of the kids, put dinner on the table, do a whole bunch of stuff around the house. The men worked hard too, though. You know, going out and killing things and plowing the fields or whatever. But the men got to be the king of the castle, the guy in charge, and the women kind of had to just keep their heads down and do what he says. So that wasn't great because they worked hard too. And it's supposed to be kind of an equal partnership of like communicating with each other, making decisions together, you know, not just, I'm the man, I get to make all the decisions. Very popular video. It's 2.2 million views. I've been dying to see it, so let's check it out.
Why are you hanging on so tight to the rope that I'm hanging from? Off this island, this was an escape plan. This was an escape plan. Carefully timed it, so let me go and dive into the waves below. Who turns the orchards? Who fixes up the gables? Emotional torture from the heady high table. Who fetches the water from the Rocky Mountain spring? And walk back down again to feel your words and the sharp sting. And I'm getting fucking tired. The capillaries in my eyes are bursting. If our love died, would that be the worst thing? For somebody I thought was my savior, sure make me do a whole lot of labor. The callous skin on my hands is cracking. If our love ends, would that be a bad thing? And the silence haunts a bed chamber. You make me do too much labor.
Ooh, it sounds awesome. I'm not catching all the lyrics though. I should have brought up the lyrics. I know she's talking about escape plan. You make me do too much labor. Basically, she's fixed this super fancy dinner and he's just sitting there cold and silent, expecting her to do it for him. Why are you hanging on so tight to the rope that I'm hanging from off this island? This was an escape plan. This was an escape plan. carefully timed it so that we'd go and dive into the waves below. So she's feeling trapped as if she was on an island and she has to escape by jumping into the waves. Who tends the orchards? Who fixes up the gables? Emotional torture from the head of your high table. Who fetches the water from the Rocky Mountain spring and walk back down again to feel your words and their sharp sting, and I'm getting effing tired. She does all of this without any gratitude, compliments. You just expect her to do all these things. You're not helping out, and she's getting fed up. And he's speaking to her harshly, not with kindness. Capillaries in my eyes are bursting. If our love died, would that be the worst thing for somebody that I thought was my savior? You sure make me do a whole lot of labor. Exactly. Ugh, the words to this are so good. I love it. The callous skin on my hands is cracking. If our love ends, would that be a bad thing? And the silence haunts our bedchamber. You make me do too much labor. I have a feeling this is going to be like my new favorite song. I'm going to listen to it over and over again.
Apologies for my tongue. I'm never busy lapping from flowing cup. I'm stabbing with your fork. I know you're a smart man. And weaponize the false incompetence. It's dominance under a guy. If we had
Oh yeah, saying she apologizes all the time and he never does. He's just busy using her, drinking and stabbing with his fork. She knows he's smart, so she knows he's just manipulating her and using her, and he knows what's going on. Because sometimes guys do that. They play dumb. They're like, oh, I didn't know I was hurting you. Oh. It's like, yes, you did. You knew exactly what you were doing. I mean, as much as we'd like to think that they're dumb, they're just stupid and they don't know what's going on. In some ways they don't, because women can be very complicated in our thought process, and sometimes we don't tell them what we really think and whatnot, but I think men also use that against us and try to play dumb so they can get away with hurting us. Weaponize the false incompetence. It's dominance under a guise. Exactly. Ugh, this is so good. Can't even explain how much I love this.
I'd watch and could not save her. The emotional torture from the head of your high table. She'd do what you taught her. She'd meet the same cruel fate. So now I've got to run so I can undo this mistake. At least I've got to try.
Oh my gosh, yeah. If we had a daughter. Luckily, they don't yet. If we had a daughter, I know she would go through the same torture that I'm going through. Emotional torture. She would do what you taught her. She'd meet the same cruel fate. So now I've got to run so I can undo this mistake. At least I've got to try. Ugh, that is so heavy.
The reason my eyes are bursting. If our love died, would that be the worst thing? With somebody I thought was my savior, sure maybe do a whole lot of labor. The callous skin on my hands is cracking. If our love ends, would that be a bad thing? And the silence haunts our bedchamber. You make me do too much labor. All day, every day, therapist, mother maid, nymph, then a virgin, nurse, then a servant, just an appendage, live to attend him so that he never lifts a finger. 24/7 baby machine, so he can live out his picket fence dreams. It's not an act of love if you make her. You make me do too much labor. All day, every
Oh, that was a lot of words. All day, every day, therapist, mother, maid, nymph, then a virgin, nurse, then a servant, just an appendage, live to attend him. Whew. Yeah. Yeah. So that he never lifts a finger, 24/7 baby machine, so he can live out his picket fence dreams. It's not an act of love if you make her. You make me do too much labor. It's if she's doing this out of the kindness of her heart, it's okay, but if you make her and you don't show any love back, you don't contribute, she's acting as a therapist to you. You're sitting there maybe complaining about work or whatever, or the kids, and she's trying to help the kids, she's trying to help you with your emotional baggage, and her own emotional baggage usually gets pushed aside, and it's all about you and the kids first. Mother, maid, she has to be like a nymph and a virgin, satisfy you. Nurse, then a servant, just an appendage, living to attend him. I'm not saying all men are like this. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in this circumstance, the type of guy she's speaking of is like the worst kind of guy, male chauvinistic guy that wants his wife to obey him and just, do all of these things. A lot of men are not like that nowadays, especially.
A therapist, mother maid, nymph, then a virgin, nurse, then a servant, just an appendage, live to attend him, so that he never lifts a finger. 24/7 baby machine, so he can live out his picket fence dreams. It's not an act of love if you make her, you make me do too much labor. He's a therapist, mother maid, nymph, then a virgin, nurse, then a servant, just an appendage, live to attend him, so that he never lifts a finger. 24/7 baby machine, so he can live out his picket fence dreams. It's not an act of love if you make her, you make me do too much labor.
And she's gone. Oh, man. Whew. Does she have any other good songs? Because this was excellent. The singing was great. The lyrics were awesome, which I'm all about the lyrics. The music video was good. I kind of stopped paying attention to it I was like, wait a minute, I'm just like getting lost in the music too much. I'm not even watching the music video. But basically she was sitting at a table and she was getting blood all over her face. She was just like, ah, I'm losing my mind with you, dude. And he's just like sitting there like, I don't care. What, woman? What do you want? What you're whining about? The rage that builds up through the song is devastating, but so beautiful. This song invokes so many emotions. The line about the daughter breaks my heart, and I'm not even a mom. Yeah, for sure. That's from the comment section, not me. Love letter to women throughout history. A historian, Rosalind Miles, points out part of the reason men were at the forefront of so much innovation throughout history isn't just because of lack of education for women, but because they were free to do more with their time, as women were carrying most domestic and emotional labor in the home. It's true. Also, women weren't allowed to get educated as well. And women did invent things and create things if they could. If they weren't bogged down with taking care of children and doing chores 24/7. But men often took the credit for them. Speaking of men taking the credit for things, throughout history, women have had to write using a pen name that was male or sounded like it could be male, so that their writing could be published or taken seriously. And that brings me to this wonderful, lovely book that my mother wrote. It's the second book in the Hannah Casey series. The first book's called When the Buckeyes Fall, and it's about a girl named Hannah Casey during the Civil War. The first book takes place during the whole of the Civil War and what she and the other women went through back at home while the men were off fighting in the war, having to deal with death, tragedy, childbirth, bushwhackers, all kinds of horrible things that happened during the Civil War back home with the women and the children trying to survive. The second book is after the Civil War has ended and follows Hannah on her journey going farther in life. She wants to become a writer, and the publisher that she is trying to get her writing published through, he does not want to publish anything written by a woman. He doesn't even consider it whatsoever. So she has to turn it in secretly using a male sounding name, and he assumes it's a man who's writing it, and he likes it, and he's publishing it. So that is a small piece of this book without giving too much away. It's about a girl trying to get things published, along with many other storylines that are happening in the book. And she has to write under the pen name of a male for at least a time. So I thought that would be a good thing to mention. The photo on the cover of the book is the actual photo of my family tree. The little girl on the right, so my great-great-grandmother, Charlie Desi Porter. These are the youngest 3 children. Her 2 sisters, Fanny and Laura. Not sure which one's which. Youngest 3 children of Civil War veteran Will Porter and his wife Mally Temple of the Harmony community in Johnson County, Arkansas. There were 8 total children. Charlie, Belle, Sydney, Norma, Rhoda, Fanny, Laura, and Charlie. There was 2 Charlies. The only boy was the firstborn child, while the remaining 7 were all girls. Sadly, the boy Charlie died at 4 years old. When my great-great-grandmother was born, they chose to give her the same name as her late brother. When Charlie was 18, she married 21-year-old Ira Clarence Bean. They spent their entire lives in Johnson County, Arkansas, mostly in the Harmony, Lone Pine, and East Mount Zion areas. They had 7 children, so on and so forth. Do I look like her? A little bit. Oh no. Or her sisters. I love this picture. I love her hair. It's so pretty. So yeah, check this book out. It's on Amazon. Amazon! Her name is Joni Long. Joni Long. At the end of Oak Alley. Oh, when she grabbed the pomegranate to signify her enjoying the fruits of her own labor was just yes. And pomegranates have long been a symbol of womanhood because they represent periods. I didn't know that. Pomegranates. When I think of pomegranates, I think of Hades and Persephone. I used to say Persephone, but then people in the comment section are like snippy to me, so when I reacted to Aurora and she was talking about Persephone, Heathens, I think is the song, Heathens, she was saying Persephone, so I'm gonna try to say that now. Persephone, Hades and Persephone. I love Greek mythology, and she eats a pomegranate and is trapped down in hell. But I think she only eats part of it, or she spits it out, or something. I don't know, something like that. And then, so she's able to go up to Earth for half of the year and down hell half of the time too. And that's why the seasons are the way they are. When she's down in hell, it's winter and fall and winter, because her mother is so sad that she's gone that everything dies and gets cold and horrible. And then when she goes back up to be with her mother again, it's spring and summertime. I always loved that story. Well, that was that. I'm going to add that to my playlist for sure. I wonder if my daughter's going to like that one. I don't know if she'll be old enough to understand it quite yet, but I'll definitely show it to her and try to explain it to her a little bit. Like, subscribe, leave comments down below, and have a nice day. Bye.